make sure you guys check out www.procivic.com for all your 9th gen and Civic needs. And also make sure you guys check out www.blinkingbrakelights.com for blinking brake light tail bulbs, which can help you better be seen and safe out in traffic. Use the code GOT10 at checkout for 10% off. Ladies and gentlemen, today's a very special day. We're finally working on Clementine. Finally, after all of these months of waiting and waiting, I finally have a part to install on this thing. Several reasons why you haven't seen much content for the Civic. I made the executive decision for Clementine to sit the season out. I don't want to be modifying 2 cars at once. It's getting too expensive, and I want to keep the miles down on my car. So it has sat ever since. But I've had this thing keeping me busy for a while. For those of you who missed the last video, I showed you guys my new wheel setup. These are, as I mentioned, these are Mustang rims. They come off a Mustang Cobra 17x9s with a 28 offset. Super clean. I got rear valences for the rear, so it makes the rear look more, it blends well with the side skirt coming into the back. So I have those rear valences coming in. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the one, the only mascot of the channel, Clementine herself. So what exactly did I get for her? Well, let me show you. Ta-da! This is FKXRacing's ram air intake for the FB6 Civic Si. Now, this is an experimental thing, and I have not seen this done on video, so that's why I'm doing this. So, why did I get this? So, I've wanted to return to the stock air intake box for a while, mainly because of the heat soak issues I'm having with my K&N. Now, don't worry, K&N, the filter I have is awesome. It does give me a little bit of extra boost of power, but only the first few pulls. If it's a really hot day, good luck. Car falls flat on its face. And when I was fixing this thing, I actually drove this thing without a hood, and it was significantly faster than it with a hood. And I remember that my air intake cone sticks out and to the left on this car. And I was talking to Andy from FKXRacing, and he told me that's the technology of ram air. If you force air, like ambient air, into your engine, you're going to get more power. So, not only am I returning to my stock intake setup, but I'm also going to be installing a ram air, ultimately making it a bit faster. So, let's begin the journey of putting this on this car. It should be a simple process. But almost everything seems like a simple process. It's actually not. Mainly because when I went through this car and then I put the K&N intake on, I lost a clip and it was extremely finicky. Like, it was very difficult to put on the car. So my stock air intake box is up there. I'm going to try and get it with the car in the garage. And yeah, should be simple enough. Shouldn't have too much issues with that. And then I'm going to back the car up a little bit, get rid of the motorcycle, and then put her up in the air, start wrenching away. So I'll see you guys when this car is up on the jack stands. So y'all have seen me take off the front bumper of this car too many times before, so I'm going to skip over that part. But this is what we're going to be changing today. I'm going to be putting the stock one back on, and then whoever wants this, it's actually carb legal. I think this is the sticker that y'all need if you guys want to make it carb legal. But anybody who wants this, it's going to be, you're going to have to be responsible for the shipping. But if you're local, come pick it up. I'm going to list this on my Instagram, and if you're interested, DM me. Okay? So I took apart the front bumper and the fog light bezel and the ram air intake itself, and you guys can see, I mean, I had to really push this thing in here. If somebody wants to be a perfectionist, they could probably cut this, but I want it to be reversible. So the good news is you can actually slide this in, no problem. So when you take this out, right, it's a Phillips head right here, and you can take the fog light bezel out pretty easily with the bumper off. This is what the tube connects to. What we're going to be doing though is we're going to be taking apart the intake. We're going to be taking out the resonator box, all that stuff from the bottom, because you won't need that anymore. And you also got to remove the fog light from the bottom. That's pretty easy too. I believe it's 2 Phillips heads. Yeah, so it's a Phillips head down here, and it's one on the other side, and you're able to take it off. So let's get to work.
Brian Little.
Alright, so I took off the air filter. Everything's off. Everything's ready for installation. Excuse me. Everything's ready for installation. Everything seems pretty self-explanatory. I don't really need to go into detail about it. I just need to try and figure out how to reinstall the factory air box back in here, and then we should be good to go. But I already mounted the little cup over there on the fog light housing. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to remove these this pipe here. I'm going to try and sort out how you remove all that. I know that bolt right there has something to do with it, and this resonator box too. So I'm going to go ahead and try and take off that first before I do anything else. That was easy. This one just dislocates. Sick. So I'm gonna go ahead and bolt that. But there is a bolt that I would need to get to remove this. Like I said, I guess you could go overkill and like bleed all the tubing and like in here and such, but I don't really see the necessity to do that. I would imagine it being easier with the wheel off, but I'm too stubborn. There we go. There is another one. Okay. So I stopped being stubborn. I removed the wheel, and you have to take off something like way up there, like snakes up and in there. And you can take the rest of that crap off. So here are the air filters, or the tubing for it. Weight reduction. Look at all this useless crap. Look how many resonator box out there they have here. Come on, man. You think I don't want to hear that VTEC? Come on, bro. Come on, Honda, you're dropping the ball here on me. But well, let me go ahead and like at least bolt this back to its original place. I don't want it wobbling around. And let's put the stock airbox back on. Now, I know what most of you are thinking. You're probably thinking, you know, look, it's cool and all that you're doing this, and I get why you're doing it, but won't you get water in your engine and hydrolock it? Well, listen, you have two choices. You could either disconnect the ram air through here if it's raining, which is something that I would do. Or you could just leave it in, because you see this little, like, there's this little, like, nipple down here. The water, that's like a little funnel. So the water goes through here and empties out from underneath the intake, right here. There's this little hole here specifically made. You can see there's a little light through it. It's specifically made for fluids or water to go down it. So for those of you afraid that you might hydrolock your engine, trust me, I think you'll be okay. Unless you're going through a giant puddle, you'll be fine. Okay, so we're back. Just wanted to let y'all know that this right here, I wanted to explain something to the next buyer of my intake. Canon needs you to literally just like redirect the lines from here to here instead of it going through this stuff. I would prefer to keep it that way, because I don't like coolant. I mean, it's already bad enough that coolant runs through my throttle body. I don't want more hot air getting into it, so I'm just gonna run it just like this. I'm not gonna sit here and you know, try and justify running coolant through this again if I don't have to. So yeah, just gonna keep it that way. If you want, I think you can still redirect the lines. Like, you can buy a line like this anywhere in an auto parts store and just loop it. That's all you have to do, really, to put on the intake. So I'm going to leave it that way. I'm just going to put it all back together, because the less I touch, the better. So I got the stock bottom piece of the airbox on. It's nice and tight down there. And I'm going to put all this stuff back together now. So let's do it. But before I do, I'm going to go ahead and toss in the little tube there. You have to reuse the elbow that comes for the airbox. You have to reuse the elbow that goes down and that goes down out this way. You have to reuse that. So there's that elbow there that I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and put it on. Okay, after some of the most painful moving around with this thing, I finally got the coupler on the elbow. So let's put it on the car and send it. So I got it all put together. Now we're gonna test with this little microfiber towel here, the ram air intake. Let's see this. So that, ladies and gentlemen, was the installation video for the ram air intake from FKXRacing. If you want to pick yourself up a ram air intake, go down in the description below. It's a link straight to the website, and it should be under their 9th gen tab. So now that I have this part installed, I'm sure you guys are curious as to how it performs. I'm curious too. I will be test driving the vehicle tomorrow, and that's going to be in tomorrow's video. So hope you guys enjoyed the installation video. If you guys enjoy my content, hit the like button, subscribe for more content. And finally, I'm sure now you guys will stop whining about the Clementine. And trust me, guys, listen. In all honesty, I don't want to make this a talking video, but Clementine is not the only car I have. And I hope you guys can respect that. And this channel is not about Clementine. It's about me. Okay, and this channel has always been about me, so I'm taking you guys along the journey. The car stuff is just, yeah, I sort of became a car channel, but it's gonna be about cars that I enjoy. That's not to say that I don't enjoy Clementine. I do, but right now I'm just enjoying the Skyline a little bit more. Okay, so I know that the Skyline's gonna sit for a long time. It's gonna get some major upgrades. The car is faster than Clementine now. Imagine how it's going to be after winter, because I'm going to be doing some major work to her during the winter season. So if you guys want to buy my short ram intake from K&N, hit me up on my Instagram. That's going to be down in the description below too. This has been your boy, Got Him, Malik, got him out. Peace.